Here come Wakefield Trinity then, led by the skipper for the night, Nigel Bell, as they look to build on that victory over Halifax on Good Friday, with their first victory at Odsal since the 1974-75 season. And Trinity make just one change to the lineup, which gained that defeat, that vital defeat against Halifax, with prop forward Paul Malinder coming in at number 8 against his former club to replace the captain Keith Rain, who was injured against Halifax. Keith Rain drops to substitute. Very good win over Halifax on Friday. The Wakefield Trinity lineup then: Kevin Harcombe at full back, Andy Wilson, Phil Eden, James Luluai and Phil Fawkes. Tracy Lazenby at number 6, Mark Conway is 7, Paul Malinder is 8, John Thompson 9, John Glancy 10, Gary Price 11, Andy Kelly is 12, and Nigel Bell, the captain there, number 13. The Bradford Northern lineup: Keith Mumby is full back, Roger Simpson, Steve McGowan, Ian Wilkinson and Gary Mercer, Russell Stewart and Paul Harkin at half back, Kelvin Skerritt, Brian Noble, John Hamer, David Hobbs, Cal Fairbank and John Pendlebury, with the substitutes Andy Wilson and Basil Ake. The referee, Mr. Kershaw from Easingwold, and a very crucial fixture again for Wakefield Trinity. 2 points this evening and the relegation worries will be all but over. Trinity will kick off, playing from left to right, and Kevin Harkin, the man who will kick off for them. It is Harkin who kicks off downfield, and the ball fielded by Steve McGowan. Not been a happy hunting ground down the years for Trinity Odsal Stadium. Noble gives the ball to Paul Harkin, offside against Wakefield Trinity, says Mr. Kershaw. Keith Mumby with the kick for touch then on the far side. Bradford Northern not done too well at home this season. They've slipped in many games, including the ones against Castleford and St Helens recently, so they need to get back to winning ways on home soil. Trinity is certainly good enough to win this match. They lost to Bradford at Bellevue earlier in the season, but they're playing with much more confidence now, as Bradford Northern work the ball inevitably through their pack with Kelvin Skerritt. Brian Noble now to Harkin, now it's Hobbs, gets the inside pass there to Steve McGowan. This is a good break for Northern. Cal Fairbank, great tackle there by Phil Eden. That was crucial for Trinity. Bradford starting well. Fairbank plays the ball to himself and Bell's back there to make the tackle. This was the early onslaught that Trinity were expecting from Bradford North. Noble acting half-back. Comes out from Stewart. The lofted pass there to Steve McGowan. And then a knock-on from Kelvin Skerritt, costing Northern that good position.
Every time we went to lunch there, we were just going to that. making sure to find there and control. Don't thermalise. It's go down and to do it.
I got well on my shoulder, like. I was frozen. I got my trainers on my side. I went down.
David Hobbs then kicks off the second half for Bradford Northern, who lead Wakefield Trinity by 8 points to 6 in this Easter fixture here at Odsal Stadium. Andy Wilson fields the kick-off and he's off on a tremendous run. This is similar to the one against Leeds. Great break by Andy Wilson there. He's beaten Keith Mumby, but taken from behind by Gary Mercer, but he's took the play right to the Bradford Northern line. Well, Trinity started well against Halifax on Good Friday in the second half with 2 tries in 3 minutes. Can they repeat it? Lazenby to Lulai, a kick over the top by Phil Fox. Mark Conway there to retrieve and get the try for Trinity. What a start for Wakefield Trinity. 35 seconds on the clock in this second half, and they've struck back immediately, having conceded that try just before half-time to Carl Fairbank. That was a brilliant score for Trinity. Started by Andy Wilson's run, then good handling along the line by Luluai, Lazenby, the kick by Phil Fox, and then 41 minutes, Mark Conway gets the try, his 4th successive try-scoring game, and Trinity back in the lead at 10 points to 8. Tremendous start for Wakefield Trinity, that, and a brilliant piece of football. Mark Conway in the best form of his season, certainly. That was a good kick by Phil Fox, intelligent wing play, and Harkham should kick this goal. It's there, the flags are raised, and Wakefield Trinity back in the lead here at Odsal by 12 points to 8. Having trailed 8-6 at half-time. Tremendous try, that one, for Trinity. And that certainly rocked Bradford Northern. I don't know what David Topless says to his men at half-time, but it certainly worked in the last 2 games. Against Halifax they came out and Phil Eden scored 2 tries in 3 minutes. And immediately there, try for Mark Conway. Let's put them back in the lead. Keith Rain in possession just outside his own 25. The ball comes to John Thompson. And the Wakefield fans in good heart again now, leading 12 points to 8. Mark Conway will put the kick downfield. Gary Mercer has to turn and chase and field that ball. He's got Keith Mumby with him, gives him the ball. Gary Mercer again, off he goes on one of those runs, tackled by Keith Rain. Just 10 yards from the Northern 25-yard line. John Hamer takes the ball from Brian Noble. John Pendlebury now. Kelvin Skerritt had overrun him. Brian Noble into the Wakefield Trinity half on the 5th tackle. Plays the ball to Carl Fairbank, and Pendlebury puts the kick downfield. John Pendlebury's kick finds Andy Wilson. Well, they shouldn't kick towards him after what he did from the kick-off, and off he goes again. Another good 20 yards he makes. Mark Conway with the kick downfield towards the Bradford Northern 25. Keith Mumby has to go right back and retrieve that ball, and not give Wakefield Trinity's defence a chance to turn and chase him, which they do, and Phil Fox makes that tackle there just inside the Bradford Northern 25. Roger Simpson tackled by John Glancy, half stopped in fact by John Glancy, and eventually tackled by Gary Price. Noble acting half-back gives the ball to Skerritt, and Skerritt is well tackled by Johnny Thompson. Pendlebury trying to get his forwards working, but there's nothing happening for Northern at the moment. Noble this time to Harkin, misses out Skerritt and gives the ball to Wilkinson on the halfway line. Harkin in possession, the kick down towards the Trinity fullback Kevin Harkin. beats Gary Mercer. Gary Price in possession. Nigel Bell gives it to John Glancy, coming on the blind side here. Bell working a run around with Mark Conway. And John Thompson. That's been all Trinity this second half, no question about that. As Mark Conway kicks downfield, finds touch, a beautiful kick there from Mark Conway, finding touch 5 yards from the Bradford Northern line. Paul Harkin then with a feed at this scrum. It comes out to Northern, gives it to Russell Stewart, and Stewart immediately surrounded by 3 Trinity tacklers. Certainly they'll tackle everything that moves now. Trinity now they have this 12 points to 8 lead. Paul Harkin gives the ball to Pendlebury. Oh, and Pendlebury with a loose pass intercepted there by Luluai. Good footballer John Pendlebury, but he occasionally gives the loose pass and that can prove fatal. A chance here for Wakefield to look for a further score. Might even try for the drop kick here. Conway to Gary Price, taking the pass and giving it back to Kelly, and Mark Conway involved 3 times in that move, gets the pass away to Lazenby, and Bradford certainly under pressure here. 12 yards from their try line. Lazenby plays the ball now to Phil Fox. John Thompson takes it hard and strong at the Bradford defence. 7 yards from the Bradford Northern try line. 7 minutes into the second half. Conway to Glancy. The ball is knocked back towards Andy Kelly. Conway puts the grubber kick through, causing problems there. Harkin has to run it from his own try line, and then he's tackled by Phil Eden. And certainly a comedy of errors there from Bradford Northern's defence. Very loose play indeed. And Trinity have the feed at this scrum, so Mark Conway should get possession here. Which he has. Bell out to Lazenby. And Lazenby going for the line there, pulled back by his shirt by Cal Fairbank, but 3 or 4 yards away now Trinity. John Thompson hammering at the Bradford defence as well. Try here would surely clinch this game for Northern, for Trinity, sorry, against this Northern side. Mark Conway's going close, pushing his way, and then the Bradford defence rolling him over on his back and getting the tap penalty on the 25. That was intelligent play by the Bradford defence actually. As Noble takes a quick tap penalty and makes good yardage as well. Tackled by Kevin Harkham, just short of the halfway line, but Northern now having a look at the Wakefield defence. Kelvin Skerrett plays the ball this time to Gary Mercer. Mercer to Harkin. Inside ball to Stewart. Stewart has the ball taken from his grasp, and the referee penalises that. So it's Keith Mumby with the kick for touch here. putting Northern on the attack. 10 minutes gone in this second half. 12 points to 8 then to Wakefield Trinity, having trailed 8-6 at the interval. Noble working the move with Harkin. Harkin to Ian Wilkinson. There's the ball to himself in the absence of a marker, then knocked it on. Just about sums up the way things have gone this evening. Bradford Northern really have disappointed their fans this evening, but there's still a long way to go. 30 minutes remaining. And Mark Conway in possession for Wakefield Trinity. Way back in 1975 when Trinity last won on this ground, so they really have something to play for here. As the kick downfield and put Bradford back under pressure. Keith Mumby turning and having to go right back to his dead ball line. Fielded in fact by Roger Simpson. He'll be tackled by Gary Price and Nigel Bell inside his own 25. That's the essence of a good kick, chasing it and following it and making the tackle count. Keith Mumby in possession for Bradford. Noble acting half-back. Complaining about that high tackle by Keith Rain. Gets the pass back from Pendlebury, then gives one to Stewart. But it's very slow and predictable Bradford Northern style. Never really looked like scoring in this second half. Hobbs with the kick downfield. Harkin well positioned for that kick. Runs the ball well, Kevin Harkin there, but he's tackled eventually by Pendlebury. Lulai acting half-back. Bell now to Kelly. This is Gary Price. Mark Conway with the kick downfield. There go dead. The attack for Bradford Northern on the 25. So still 12 points to 8 for Wakefield Trinity. They'll be quite content with this at this stage. 13 minutes gone in the second half. Bradford have everything to do yet, because they really have been penned back in their own half. There's going to be a substitution here. Substitution in the shape of the New Zealand Test Centre. Sorry, not the New Zealand Test Centre, the New Zealand Centre. Basil Ake, who replaces Ian Wilkinson for the home side. Skerritt for Northern. Carl Fairbank still running strongly, the Northern try scorer of course. Plays the ball to Brian Noble. Noble just runs it at the Trinity defence. Paul Harkin to Pendlebury, sidestepping, coming inside, gets the pass back to Russell Stewart, but a good tackle there. Stopping the Kiwi, Keith Rain, rocked him in that tackle. Now it's Paul Harkin, kicking for position and finding touch with a good kick there, Paul Harkin, one of the best exponents of the touch-finding kick in rugby league. Conway with the feed. Trinity get possession then. And Conway with a break from the scrum base. Well policed though by John Pendlebury, but that was good football from the Trinity scrum half. In tremendous form of late. Nigel Bell is too, of course, a player who produces the goods every single match. Hot favourite for the Player of the Year award. Mark Conway. Tackled by Carl Fairbank that time. Plays the ball this time to Gary Price. He gives it to Andy Kelly, second row colleague. Now it's Lazenby with the kick downfield. Keith Mumby in possession. Kelvin Skerritt. Seen the odd charge from Kelvin Skerritt, but nothing really to frighten the Wakefield Trinity defence at this stage. It's David Hobbs now in possession. Turns and looks for support, but doesn't find anything. Noble acting half, gives it to Stewart. Now it's Harkin. Back inside again to Keith Mumby, but very basic, very ordinary stuff. Nothing Wakefield Trinity can't handle here. I think the next score will be crucial, whichever way it goes. Pendlebury in possession now for Northern. 10 yards inside the Wakefield Trinity half. Russell Stewart to Harkin. The kick for position. Trinity scrum possession then. Tracy Lazenby in possession, gives it now to Phil Eden. Eden gets the ball away to Lulai. This is better from Wakefield Trinity, opening out at last. And this is where they can stretch Bradford Northern. Out on the flanks. Fox to Bell. Phil Eden. Nigel Bell now to Mark Conway, gives the inside pass there to Keith Rain. Out it comes to Lazenby. Lazenby straightens things up, looks for support. Good football this by Wakefield Trinity. Fifth tackle, there'll be a kick on here probably. Mark Conway's acting half back. Puts the chip kick over the top, gets the bounce. But then again, the referee says it was a knock on. So that's a turnover. And it's Brian Noble now for Bradford. Bradford 8, Wakefield Trinity 12. Paul Harkin in possession. John Hamer now. Noble to Harkin. Gives the ball to Kelvin Skerritt, again coming from deep. Causing no real problems for Trinity. Still inside their own half, Bradford Northern. Harkin now with Fairbank. Fairbank takes play inside the Wakefield Trinity half. The tackler is John Glancy. Stewart out to Hobbs, gives the ball to Pendlebury. Pendlebury, a loose pass there from John Pendlebury. James Lulai's in for the interception. This could be the crucial score of the evening. It will be. Lulai scores the try for Wakefield Trinity, their third try of the game. In the 18th minute of this second half, a loose pass there from John Pendlebury. Lulai swooped for the try, and that's absolutely crucial at this stage of the game. 59 minutes gone. And Luluai's try gives Trinity the cushion now of a 16 points to 8 lead. And Trinity really looking to banish all fears of relegation this evening. And the Trinity contingent in the crowd giving their favourites a real ovation for that try. Bradford looked demoralised, and why shouldn't they be? Just as they appeared to be coming back at Wakefield Trinity after conceding that try in the first minute of the second half to Mark Conway. Interception try there from James Lulai. It's completely changed the complexion of this game. Harkham again from almost an identical position to the one from Mark Conway's try. And the identical result is another 2 points, and Wakefield Trinity now in the lead, 18 points to 8. Boos from the Northern contingent, but nothing but cheers from the Wakefield fans. Been playing an hour now here at Odsal, and they have the cushion of a 10 points advantage. And a substitution again for Northern. Mark Wilson, former Great Britain Colts scrum half, is on the field, and he's replaced standoff half Russell Stewart. Trinity leading now 18 points to 8 here. Phil Eden in possession, coming forward, the confidence now flowing through the Trinity team, obviously. John Thompson acting half-back, gives the ball to Keith Rain. Rain with a half-break there, gets... Oh, I thought he got the pass out to Nigel Bell, but he hadn't. Tackled by Skerritt. The ball comes back to Mark Conway, puts the kick downfield. Now it's Roger Simpson for Northern. Well tackled by Lulai, the scorer of that try. That crucial try. Mark Wilson in possession, gives the ball to Harkin. Now Steve McGowan. Well tackled by Keith Rain. Brian Noble to Harkin, out to Kelvin Skerritt. Skerritt ploughing his way forward. I think Wakefield Trinity have got the measure of him this evening. Wilson to Harkin. Out it comes to Pendlebury, whose tragic error caused that try. And now it's Lazenby picking up a loose ball here for Trinity. Getting the pass to Mark Conway. There could be another try on here for Trinity. Mark Conway's going to outpace Keith Mumby and get another try at the corner. What a try that is, and what a transformation we've seen here. 2 tries in 3 minutes, identical to the situation on Good Friday. Mark Conway's second of the evening, is 5th in the last 4 games. And Wakefield Trinity now with a 22 points to 8 lead. Incredible stuff here at Bradford. What a try that was. Tracy Lazenby did ever so well there, because he picked up a loose ball when many people would have been quite content to fall on it, and he got the pass away. And Mark Conway, well, he's one of the fastest scrum halves in the business, certainly too fast for an ageing Keith Mumby, and he left him for dead on that 25-yard run for the line. And Trinity have a lead of 22 points to 8 now, and that should settle the contest. This result beyond the wildest dreams, I think, of any Trinity fan. Harkham's kick then hits the upright. Well, that could have been icing on the cake, but it wasn't. But still, 22 points to 8 for Trinity, and just 17 minutes remaining here at Odsal Stadium. Well, Trinity, they had an excellent Christmas. They got 4 points off Featherstone Rovers, and they're looking good here to take 4 points over Easter and virtually ensure themselves a First Division football next season. Well, Mark Wilson there, Andy Wilson taking a very, very high tackle from Kelvin Skerritt. Andy Kelly having plenty to say about that. Certainly that was a dangerous tackle from Kelvin Skerritt. Goes virtually unpunished. It's a penalty to Trinity, but there's no sin bin or anything being used there. So Kevin Harkham with the kick for touch. Bell to Glancy, and offside against Bradford Northern. Mr. Kershaw spots the offside, and Harkham decides he'll kick for goal. 45 yards out. Obviously waste a bit of time with his kick as well. What a transformation we've seen this second half. Bradford Northern went in with an 8-6 lead, but within a minute of the second half that lead had changed hands. Mark Conway's try and a goal from Kevin Harcombe. Then 2 tries in 3 minutes, with James Lulai intercepting from John Pendlebury's pass, scoring. Harcombe again had in the goal for 18-8, and then Mark Conway scoring that try off a Lazenby pass. 22 points to 8 for Wakefield Trinity now. Harcombe here with a chance to add to that scoreline. Well, it's high, but it's wide, but it's gone dead, so it'll force Northern to drop kick out. (22 points to 8 there). 4 tries to 1. Incredible performance by Wakefield Trinity. Malcolm tackled by Wilson there, plays the ball now to Lulai. John Thompson acting half-back. Big kick downfield this time by Lazenby. That's all Trinity have to do now. Keep Bradford penned back in their own 25, and they've got the 2 points. That's the Bradford substitute, Basilaki, the New Zealander. Brian Noble now gives it to David Hobbs, who's been very quiet this evening. Not the forward we know, not the Great Britain Test forward we know, as John Hamer comes forward into the tackle of Keith Rain. The only blot on this performance, of course, for Trinity, the loss of Paul Malinder with that suspected broken ankle. Heavy price to pay for victory, but certainly he'll join in the celebrations if Trinity do manage to hold out here, as Hobbs kicks downfield towards the fullback Kevin Harcombe. John Thompson in possession. Keith Rain. Mark Conway finally with the kick downfield towards Roger Simpson. Does well there. Simpson gets the pass away to Aki. Got man on the outside in Gary Mercer, but he's using his own speed there and throws an inside pass to Simpson. This is better from Bradford, and Simpson still going forward into the Wakefield Trinity half. David Topless there on the dugout, urging his men to keep tackling as Wilson gets the pass away to Harkin. Now it's Pendlebury, thinks twice about the pass after that interception he gave to Luluai. Now it's Wilson, 10 yards inside the Wakefield Trinity half. Just 11 minutes remaining as David Hobbs throws a pass out there, a very loose pass indeed to Keith Mumby, who can't hold it. The ball goes into touch, and I think you can see from the looks on those Bradford Northern faces that they've almost conceded defeat here. Trinity have got Andy Fletcher on the bench, of course, but I don't think they'll use him unless there's an injury. Paul Harkin in possession for Northern. And Mumby with a loose pass to McGowan, put down on the first tackle. It just about sums up Northern's evening. But this is Trinity's strength, of course, pressurising teams into errors. That's what they did on Friday against Halifax, and that earned them a 27-10 victory. I don't think anyone anticipated them leading here 22 points to 8 against the John Player semi-finalists, Bradford Northern, who themselves are by no means out of the relegation zone yet. Andy Wilson acting half-back, offside against Bradford Northern, says Mr Kershaw from Easingwold. The attendance 4,244, and many of them are from Wakefield, and they're certainly making themselves heard as well. Kevin Harkin with the kick for touch. Nigel Bell in with a tap penalty, gives it to Keith Rain. Bell now to Glancy. That's John Thompson taking the play to Kelvin Skerritt. Just outside the Bradford Northern 25. There might be a drop kick on possibly. Nigel Bell runs it instead. Conway, the man who scored 2 tries, looking for a hat-trick of course, gives the ball to Andy Wilson. Wilson, whose tremendous run set up the position for that try just after half-time. Takes a good deal of holding every time he gets into his stride. Plays the ball this time to Price. It comes now to Conway, puts the kick in, the grubber. That's caused problems for David Hobbs, but he took that ball well, but he's driven back over his own goal line. There'll be a drop out again for Northern. Tigerish tackling, the feature of this Wakefield Trinity victory, because I'm sure it's going to be a victory now. 9 minutes remaining. Drop kick then, reaching almost the halfway line, fielded by Andy Wilson, and Wilson off again on one of those runs, makes it to the 25-yard line. Plays the ball now to John Glancy. Eight minutes plus injury time standing between Wakefield Trinity and a famous victory here at Odsal Stadium. Not won here for 14 years. John Thompson in possession, plays the ball to Bell. It comes now to Mark Conway. Conway almost jinking his way over for the hat-trick try. Just pulled back there by Keith Mumby. Bell though gives it to Rain. Rain with a short pass to Eden, and Eden couldn't hold it. And that's a tap on the Northern 25. All Wakefield Trinity now in this second half. Complete transformation from the first half this, as Skerritt comes again for Northern. But they just lack adventure, Bradford Northern. There really is no enterprise about the style of play at all. Very, very basic stuff. Pendlebury taking the pass from Harkin. No attempt at bringing the 3 quarters into the play at all. Hobbs and Harkin at the centre of most of their moves. Hobbs throws a loose pass inside to Pendlebury. Now it's Mumby. Mumby tackle that time by John Thompson. Now it's Pendlebury. 3 yards inside the Wakefield Trinity half. 22-8 still the scoreline. 7 minutes plus injury time remaining. Bradford Northern losing possession again. And another Northern heel against the head there. Bounced out against the shins of Paul Harkin. Now it's Carl Fairbank, their try scorer, gives the ball to Aki. He's tackled by Lazenby, but gets the pass away to McGowan. The first real look Bradford have had at the Trinity line this half. Mark Wilson in possession. Northern, of course, who won 23-14 at Bellevue, in November. Certainly aren't going to complete a double over Wakefield Trinity. And this will be only Trinity's 3rd away victory of the season, as Mercer goes for the corner flag. Well stopped there. Skerritt has another plunge, but he doesn't get very far. Now it's Noble and Harkin, Pendlebury, Hobbs. Out it comes to Mark Wilson. This is a dangerous move for Northern. Good tackle again though there, coming in from Phil Eden on Mark Wilson on the 5th tackle. And Hobbs in possession. To Hamer. Back to McGowan. Simpson tries the kick through. And then Harkin kicks the ball dead. Trinity's only previous away victories in the league this season were at Hull, way back in September when they won by 16-10, and then of course at Post Office Road on Boxing Day, and they won by 15 points to 14. So Trinity all set for their 3rd away victory and their best by far this season. Kick downfield, the drop kick out by Mark Conway to Paul Harkin, gives the inside pass to Keith Mumby. He's tackled by Tracy Lazenby. 4 minutes remaining. Brian Noble in possession to Harkin, working a move here with Cal Fairbank. Fairbank throws a pass out to Wilson, and this really is desperate stuff from Bradford Northern. Noble to Harkin. Harkin jinks inside, gives the pass to Cal Fairbank. Fairbank goes forward, gets the pass back to Noble. Hamer now to Wilson. This is better from Northern. Hobbs inside ball to Mumby. He just flicked the ball back. Hamer picked the ball up, but it's still good defence from Wakefield Trinity. Still keeping everything out as Bradford come again, losing possession that time with Carl Fairbank. And the ball retrieved for Wakefield Trinity by winger, Andy Wilson. Now it's Gary Price clearing his lines. Bell this time to John Thompson. Conway this time to Andy Kelly. And now it's Mark Conway for Trinity. Good half break by the scrum half. An outstanding game this evening. 2 tries, of course, but so much more than that. He put the kick in for the first one for Tracy Lazenby, and he's been a constant source of irritation to Bradford Northern all evening. Now it's Lazenby, the outstanding performer for Trinity, but that ball's fielded this time by McGowan. And now it's Paul Harkin for Bradford Northern. Gets an inside pass to Keith Mumby. He's well tackled that time by Keith Rain. And Harkin out now to Pendlebury. Long pass this time to Skerritt. Skerritt going forward in these dying stages of this game. 2 minutes plus injury time. Pendlebury in possession. Bradford Northern 8, Wakefield Trinity 22. Paul Harkin out to Hobbs. Hobbs with a short pass again to Mumby on the Wakefield Trinity 25-yard line. McGowan to Hobbs. Hobbs with the inside pass to Fairbank. Looks for support. Gives it to Mumby. Mumby out to Harkin. The interception's on here for Phil Eden. Phil Eden's going to go all the way and put the icing on the cake for Wakefield Trinity with their 5th try here. Nobody will catch Phil Eden. That's a try. The 5th try for Trinity, and that takes the score to 26 points to 8. And that clinches a memorable victory here at Odsall. Waited 14 years for a league victory here, and they've certainly done it in style. 79 minutes gone then, and Phil Eden pushes the scoreline to 26-8. What a performance this has been from Wakefield Trinity. And Kevin Harkham, I'm sure, will kick this goal. Who in the Rugby League would have envisaged a 28-8 victory for Wakefield tonight at Odsall? Incredible victory, especially after the trail 8-6 at half-time, conceding a try just before half-time. Always a test of any team's character. But that's one area where Wakefield Trinity never have fallen short this season. Kevin Harkham then should kick his 4th goal of the evening. He does. And that takes the scoreline to 28-8 for Wakefield. And there indeed goes the final hooter. Scenes of jubilation on the Wakefield Trinity bench. A 28-8 victory with tries from Lazenby in the first half, Mark Conway, Luluai, a second from Mark Conway, and that one from Phil Eden in the second, against a try from Fairbank and 2 goals from Hodge. But the Wakefield players salute their magnificent fans in the 4,000 crowd here at Odsal Stadium. They've done them proud. They've staved off relegation now, and they've completed their first victory at Odsal in 14 years, winning by 28 points to 8. 5 tries to 1 tells its own story. And just look at those Wakefield Trinity supporters. Tremendous scenes of jubilation here at Odsal. Bradford Northern 8, Wakefield Trinity 28.